This is the first step in the ladder out of the pit of alcoholism or drug addiction. Give in or cave in.
We all have to start this journey from somewhere. The good thing is, we don't have to take this journey alone. I believe that the first word "we" is the most important word in this step, as we can't, or at least don't have to take this journey alone. There are many that have taken this journey before us. We just need to be honest with ourselves, open-minded to their suggestions and willing to do the work.
I once heard a man say to his patients, "Look at the record, look at the record, look at your record." If you come up with this, when I drank, I didn't control it, it controlled me, and my drinking made problems. What makes problems is one. And if your drinking makes problems, that's a drinking problem. I don't care what you call it, as long as you realize if this thing that I am doing is making trouble, it is. That is so self-evident, nobody can prove it. You either see it or you don't. You either see it or you don't.
Let's look at the track record. What does your track record tell you? You have already done the research and development. You have already analyzed the data through your lived experiences. It's time to make a conclusion. Are you controlling it? Or is it controlling you? It's not always about frequency or volume, it's what it does to you. Let's look at the data. I believe when we are talking about true powerlessness, going against our core beliefs, and doing something anyway is indicative of being powerless. Take out the part of promising others that you wouldn't use substances. Focus on the part about promising yourself you wouldn't use. This disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it talks to us in our own voice. It manipulates us, and we are in a toxic relationship with it. We give it everything that we have, and it continues to take more, including our dignity. Before we can be honest with anybody else, we need to be brutally honest with ourselves. We are to ask ourselves if we are controlling it, or if it is controlling us is indicative of a power struggle. When we look at powerlessness as now, knowing what's wrong with us, and not a weakness, the healing can begin. Many spend years looking for the causes of a problem, and never focus on the solution to it. There are many contributing factors to addiction, but it's not the solution to it. Addiction is a biochemical reaction to substances, and even if we find the cause of it, it does not reflect the biochemical reaction. Once we start, we just can't simply stop. It's like opening the floodgates with that first drink or drug and not being able to close those dates. That, my friends, is powerlessness.
Gets his paycheck cashed at the local tavern, drinks 2 beers. Every now and then an old friend shows up and he drinks 4. I'm not talking about that. I'm asking you if you have ever drunk more than you determined you were going to drink. I know, honey, I made a jackass of myself at the last party. I swear on my sainted mother's grave, no more than 3. And you drink 23. Have you ever in your entire life drunk more than you determined you were going to drink? Have you ever promised yourself not to drink more than a certain amount and gone beyond it? If your answer is yes once, you're probably an alcoholic, and if it's twice, sign up.
What do you see? What is your track record? Does it tell you that there is this constant battle with self? A battle between your addicted personality and your sober self? What does your track record say? Have you ever put pen to paper? There is a therapeutic value in writing things down. It gives us the opportunity to take ownership of our actions. When we write things down, generally, we select those words we chose for a particular reason. When we use pen and paper, it goes from the head to the hand, therefore going through the heart. On paper, it may be easier to look at a consequence list in order to break through the fog of addiction and begin the process of becoming accountable for our behavior. In looking at your track record, ask yourself this: how has my disease affected me? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Ask yourself, how does the self-centered part of my disease affect my life and the lives of those around me? Have I blamed others for my behavior without taking accountability for my own actions? Have I compared my addiction to other people's addiction and minimized my experience? Have I used alcohol or drugs to change or suppress my feelings? Have I accepted that I will never again have control over my usage even after a long period of time without use?